Hello and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, hello, nice to meet you. And if you're a returning subscriber, weekend of spring in Canada, and I can't relate because it's been snowing like crazy all night, but it's whatever. So today finally I am going to put out my video about tax returns and filing your taxes online, and I'll be using the Simple Tax software, now Wealth Simple Tax. We'll get into it in a bit, but before we go into that, I just wanted to touch on some things you shouldn't be doing, mistakes you should avoid when filing your taxes online, especially if you're filing it online and it's your first time filing. So first of all, you don't want to claim any credits that you're not eligible for. So make sure that whatever credits you're claiming on your taxes, it's something that you're eligible for. If not, CRA will come for you, okay? You're going to be owing them. So I think that should be the first rule. Avoid any mistakes that would lead to you owing CRA, okay? Okay, so also you want to make sure that you're not neglecting any tax credits that you can transfer to future years. For example, your tuition credits that you're not using, RRSP contribution credits that you're not going to be using this year, you can move them forward onto the next year, carry them forward to the next tax year when they'll beneficial to you. Say for example, you're in a lower tax bracket this year, and you know next year you'll be in a higher tax bracket, and those credits will be doing you a lot of good in reducing your taxes that you'll be paying to CRA, while you're ensuring that you're not claiming any ineligible expenses. You also want to make sure that you're not foregoing any credits that you may be eligible for. For example, if you worked from home last year due to the COVID-19 situation, you may be eligible for a tax credit of up to $400 if you made any out-of-pocket medical expenses, if you have any professional dues or union dues, if you have any donation that you made to any registered charity, if you have tuition that you paid, if you were a student in the past year and you paid tuition, then you must have received a T22 form from your school, so you can use that as well. So make sure that you're not foregoing any credits that you're eligible for, because it's free money. Who rejects free money? I don't. Yeah, and you also want to make sure that you're not missing the deadline for when to file your taxes. So deadline for filing taxes in Canada is April 30, and that's for individuals, and for businesses it's in June. I'm not sure what the exact date is, so you want to make sure that you're not missing that deadline of April 30. For 2020, it was extended because of COVID-19, but for this year, it's gone back to the regular April 30th that it used to be. So make sure that you're not missing that deadline, because by April 30th, you haven't filed your taxes, there's going to be a 5% interest penalty on that, and then also an additional 1% for every month after that you do not file your taxes. And if you're not owing CRA but you're getting a refund, you're going to be delaying the time that refund will be credited to you. And also, if you have any GST credits that CRA will be paying you, that is also going to get delayed as well, because if you did not receive your taxes for the year, then they cannot credit you with any benefits that is due to you. So it's like throwing away free money. Again, who throws away free money? So whatever you do, make sure that you're filing your taxes before the deadline, which for individuals it's April 30th. Okay, so today I'm going to be using Simple Tax. It used to be Simple Tax, but now they're called Wealth Simple Tax. It's a free tax filing, online tax filing software, and I just find it very helpful. First of all, I like free stuff. Unlike the other softwares that I'm familiar with, you have to pay some sort of fee to use them. Like the TurboTax, UFile, you have to pay. Okay, I'm not exactly sure of UFile, but for TurboTax, I know you have to pay. H&R Block, you have to pay as well. So my tax situation is not that complicated, and I think it's something that I can figure out on my own. So I choose to file my taxes myself, and I use Simple Tax software because it's free and it's simple to use. It's very user friendly, and you almost can't go wrong with it because they have all of these hyperlinks in there. They have guidelines that you can read through to ensure that you're answering all the questions correctly. So yeah, it's like fail proof to use Simple Tax. So that's why I use it. If you want to use TurboTax or any of the other software to file your taxes online, you can use them as well. I know there's TurboTax, there's UFile, there's H&R Block. There's a couple different options that you have. It's just depending on your personal preferences and what you like to do. If you don't mind paying $18 to $34, I know for TurboTax, if you're using the one-time online software, it's $18 for one person, and if you're using the standard package that they have for up to 8 people, that one I think is about $34. So if you don't mind paying that amount of money to file your taxes, which you may at the end of the day be owing CRA, feel free. But if you want to take advantage of the free feature that the Wealth Simple Tax has to offer, then stay tuned. The processes for filing online is pretty much the same for the different softwares. I mean, their platforms are different, and the interfaces are different, but the steps are pretty much the same thing. So if you want to use other software, if you want to use the other available software, feel free to use that as well. Okay, now we're going to get into the video. So first thing you want to do is to put in the Simple Tax address into your browser. So you can go ahead and type that in. Once that is done, it brings you to this page. This is the landing page, and you go ahead and start your 2020 tax return. But before we do that, I'm just going to show you here. So it's completely free to use the Simple Tax software to file your taxes. It doesn't charge you anything. You're not obligated to paying anything for that. Okay, so we're going to start the 2020 tax return. Now it's called Wealth Simple Tax, but prior to this year, they used to be just Simple Tax. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start filing. If this is your first time filing your taxes with Wealth Simple, then you're going to go in here. It's going to ask you to put in your information, and then you can go ahead and do that with your email address and create a password basically, and you should be good to go. But I'm not new to Simple Tax, so I won't be creating a new profile today. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my information in there. If you have, because like I said, they were bought by Wealth Simple, which is a different investment software. So if you already use Wealthsimple, then you can just go ahead with I already used Invest. I use Wealthsimple, but if you do not have any Wealthsimple account, then you can go ahead and create a Wealthsimple account. Okay, so now that we're in, the first thing that we're going to start with is you're going to go ahead and put in your personal information. So you're going to go ahead and fill in all those boxes with your name. Now I have put in all of my personal information, my name, my social insurance number. This is a social insurance number, by the way. So all of the information here is made up. You just want to put in your personal information in there. If you're filing for a deceased person, then you want to go ahead and choose yes, but we're not. For the purpose of this video, I'm not filing for a deceased person, so it's a no. Now, for this part, NetFile is the software used by CRA to access all tax returns filed online. So if you have previously filed a tax return in any previous year, so 2019, 2018, you would have a NetFile access code. Now this code can be filed on the right hand side of your notice of assessment. If you have that, you can go ahead and put it in there. Now what this does is it allows SimpleTax to be able to pull your information from previous tax years. So if you have any unused tax credits that you carried forward from your previous year, it will make that available to you and then automatically apply it onto your taxes this year. So if you have that, you can put it in. For this video, I won't be putting that in. Then you can go ahead and put your mailing address as well. Okay, so if you have that, you put that in. So we're all just still putting in the personal information. So put in your mailing address, and then on this part, your residential information. In which province or territory did you live on December 31st? So you put that in there. Did your province change? No. My province or territory did not change in 2020, so I'm going to leave that blank. Yes, my home address is the same as my mailing address, so that's a yes. In which province or territory do you currently live? I still live in British Columbia. But if you have changed provinces since December 31st last year, then you would want to select your new province. Did you reside within Nisga's lands? No, I did not. Did you become a resident of Canada for tax purposes in 2020? No, I did not. Okay. So next thing is your family information. I am single. Did your marital status change? No, my marital status did not change in 2020, and I do not have any dependents. And then so this is for general information about you if you do have any outside of Canada. So if you have any properties costing over 100,000 outside of Canada, then you want to answer yes to that, but I do not, so it's a no. Did you dispose of your principal residence in 2020? No, I did not. You filing an income tax return with the CRA for the first time? No, I am not. So if this is your first time filing a tax return with CRA, then you want to go ahead and select yes for that question, but in this case it's a no. You're a Canadian citizen. For me it's a no, but if you're a Canadian citizen, then you want to go ahead and select yes. Now this has no impacts as far as I am aware on your tax returns whatsoever. no, I'm not registered under the Indian Act, and no, not confined to prison, God forbid. Now, if you're registered for CRA My Account, then you can go ahead and select yes. If you're not, it's okay. It's advisable that you create one, but if you don't have a CRA My Account, that's okay. I'm going to link up in the info card in this video a link to the CRA website that discusses how you can create a CRA My Account. It's a very simple step. It takes less than 5 minutes to do. So if you don't have a CRA My Account, you can do that. And if you want to sign up for online main as well, you can do that if you want to receive communication from the CRA. For me, I'm already signed up, so that's okay. So here you can autofill your return. If you have a CRA My Account and you've also put in your net file access code, then this would allow SimpleTax to pull your information from CRA that has been submitted by your employers, or if you have investments that have submitted your slips to CRA, then this would allow them to pull that information and automatically fill it into your application for you, so you don't have to put that in. I'm not going to be doing that right now because I don't have valid information for this tax filing, so it's not going to let me. Once you have all your slips, your employment income T4, your RRSP slips, your T5s, and all of that, you can start putting them in. So it's a long list of forms that you can put in. So if you don't want to go through the list, you can just start typing in the headlines of the slips that you have. So once I start typing in T4, it gives me what I need. So this is for employment income. If you received COVID benefits in 2020, then you want to use a T4A. If you have EI coming in, then you want to use a T4E. If you withdrew from your RRSP in the past year, then you will also have a T4 RSP. So depending on what income you want to put in. For this video, I'm only doing a T4 employment income. So I'm going to go in and put in my information, my employer. So the way this is set up, you can almost it's set up almost to resemble what your T4 slip should look like. So the numbers and all of that. If you're not sure what to look for, if you over around the number, then it would give you a description of what to look out for, and that is exactly what will be on your T4 slip as well. So you can just go ahead and fill that in. So all of this you're going to fill according to what you have on your T4. So now you've put in all of the information as you have it on your T4. And if you have any additional boxes that's not in there, you can put that in as well. So say for example you have a box 50 and you want to put that in. So here it automatically shows you that this amount is already included in your the amounts that you have in box 14. So if you want to take it out, it's fine, but if you want to be on the safe side and you're not sure, then you can leave it there and SimpleTax will take care of the calculations for you. Now if you look on the left hand side, you will see here that it's automatically populated a refund of $143 based on the information that I had entered. So when we started, that was $0, and now it's giving me a refund of $143 based on the information that I had just put in, my employment information that I had just put in. If you have a second employment income slip from a different employer, or if you have two tax slips from the same employer, say you worked in one position for the first half of the year and the second half of the year you got promoted to a different position, or you moved to a different sector of the same organization, then you most likely be getting two T4s from that employer for the year. So you can go ahead and enter that as well, but for this video I'm only using the one employment income. So moving on, next thing you want to do is to put in your, if you have donations that you did, you want to put that in as well, because those ones give you some tax credits. Now here is a donation that was already included on the T4 slip that happened through work, so that is already in there. Simple Tax automatically lifted that amount from the information that I had put in when I was entering my employment income. Another one I have is through church, donations that I did through church, so I'm going to put that in as well. So any donations that you have at all that you've made to any registered charity organization, you want to put that in here. Of course, you'll be getting tax slips for any donations that you make. You'll be getting donation receipts for any donations that you've made to a charity organization. So make sure that you get your tax receipts for every eligible donation that you make. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there as well. Let's see. Okay, so put that in there as well, and you can see once I had put in that information, it bumped up my refund to $1,000,644. If you have any other donation that you want to make, for example, donations to the BC Children's Hospital, donations that you made to your children's school, or any other registered donations, or any other donations you've made to registered charities during the year and you've gotten receipts for, you can go ahead and put that in there as well. Okay, so for me, that's all I did during the year. Okay, so that's that for the donation part of this video. So if you have any unused room, any unused donations from the previous year that you'd carried forward, this is where you would want to put it in. And also, if you put in your access code at the top that I had showed initially for next file, if you put that in, then it would automatically populate that information for you as well. But if not, you can put that in there. For this video, I'm going to do a no for that. And if you donated any capital property or any depreciable property last year, you can put that in as well. For this video, it's a no. And then next thing you want to do, if you're a student, for example, then you also have a T2 tax slip for your tuition. So if you go ahead and start to put that in here, it shows you tuition and education amounts, so you want to put that in. If you also have a student loan that you've been paying interest on, you can also select that as well, because you do get some credits for the interest that you've paid on a student loan. Which is this one right here, interest paid on student loans. And if you have tax credits that has been transferred to you from your child or your grandchildren, then you can use this as well. But for this video, I'm only going to be using the T2 slip, which is this one. Okay, so yes, if you were in a post-secondary institution in the last year, and of course the slip is a T22 202, and you want to put in your, it's going to ask you for the program. Now all of this information you will find on your T2 that was issued to you by your school. So you put in that information, and you of course fill out any information that you need to add on there. So if you want to claim the training credits, you can claim that, but I can't claim that based on the age that I had used. You have to be 26 to claim the tax credits. If you're not sure what the tax credit, what the Canada training credit is, you can click on this hyperlink and it's going to give you a description of what that credit is and if you're eligible to claim it. This is another reason why I like Simple Tax, because it has all of these hyperlinks that will give you additional information on a particular subject if you're not entirely sure. And of course, this question marks in there as well. If you go into them, they will give you kind of a guidance as to what you should be answering to that particular box. So here it tells you that you should only answer yes if any of this applies to you, and in this case none of it applies to me, which is why I have a no selected in that box. Okay, so you want to go ahead and answer all of those questions there. So here, if you selected yes, it would ask you to put in your unused federal tuition amounts from any previous year. So you're going to go ahead and pull that in. If you have a CRA My account, then you can find that information on your CRA My account for unused contribution, unused tuition amounts, and it will also be on your notice of assessment from a previous tax year as well. That's if you filed your taxes before in Canada, but if you have never filed your taxes, then this wouldn't apply. So if you were a student in 2019, even if you were not working, then you would still want to file your taxes for 2019 so that you have that information, that tuition information in the system, and then that way you can carry forward that unused amount to this year where you're not working, and you can apply some of those credits onto your income tax. Okay, so for this video I'm going to do a no. Okay, so that's that for tuition, and if you have any RRSP contributions, you want to put that in as well. RRSP is a great way to reduce your taxes that you pay, because contributions made are not taxable until the year that they are withdrawn as income. It's usually used as a retirement vehicle by most Canadians for when they're older, in their 60s, late 50s, late 60s, when they retire and they're in a much lower tax bracket, and then they can start withdrawing from their RRSP accounts. If you do have the RRSP accounts, then that's great for you. You can set it up either through any of the financial institutions, or sometimes your employer would set it up for you as well, and then you can make contributions to the RRSP account through your payroll, through your paychecks. They would automatically deduct an amount that you've already set to be deducted from your paycheck, either weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, whatever the arrangement is. And so if you do have your RSP contribution receipt, you want to go ahead and put that information in there. So for deduction limits, this you would find on your notice of assessment from the previous tax year as well. If you're not sure what the deduction limit is, again, with the hyperlink, it will give you a brief description of where to find it. Okay, if you have a CRMI account, then you'll find it on your CRMI account, and you can also find it on your notice of assessments as well. Okay, so once you have that, you want to go ahead and put that information in there. So let's go with 2,500. If you made, of course, you made contributions, so you want to put that in there as well. So now the RSP contributions are in two phases. The contributions you made from March to December, and the other contribution you make in the first 60 days of the year. So for March to December of 2020, you put a 5,000 contribution in your RRSP. Okay, and if you have any other contributions that you did as well, say for January to March 1, so that's the first 60 days of this year, you put in another 5,000. Now note that this amount is based on how much contribution room you have, how much RRSP contribution room that you have. If you do exceed your RRSP contribution room, CRA is going to charge you penalties on that. So you want to be absolutely sure that you're not exceeding your RRSP contribution room for the year. Okay, if you took advantage of the lifelong learning plan and the home buyers plan during the last year, you want to put that in, but for this it's a no. And also, if you have any unused contribution that you carried forward from any previous year, you want to put that in for this video. It's a no for me. Here you can see that my refund has jumped up to 2,852. It would be amazing if I got that in tax returns. Okay, another thing I like about Simple Tax is that it optimizes your credits and deductions. So it finds ways for you to save money and also to maximize your tax refunds and reduce the taxes that you pay as well. Okay, we'll get to that in a bit. So if you have any other thing that you would want to add, you can go ahead and do that in here. If you have any other credits that you want to apply, child care benefits, climate action benefits, any of that you want to take advantage of, you can go ahead and include all of those as well. Also, I wanted to mention earlier, so if you're not sure where to start, you can answer a few questions for Simple Tax and they will guide you as to where to go. So here you can fill in all the taxes all the slips that you had received. If you had a T4 RSP, that's income from RRSP, investment income, T5, any of them that you received, you can go ahead and check those boxes and it would automatically populate the tabs to fill for you. If you were a post-secondary student, of course, I already put in that information, so it's automatically checked off for me. If you were required to work from home as a result of COVID-19 during the past year, you can claim some credits for that as well. So you can just go ahead and read through all of that and then check any credits that applies to you that you can claim for your taxes. If you received any of that income, you can put that in as well. Okay, and yeah, define more on the fine deductions and credits for you. So go through that. Like I mentioned, if you have student loan, you can claim the interest on that as well. So basically go through that, and if there's anything on there that you can claim, check the boxes and it will just automatically populate that for you as well. Okay, so you can go through all the questions, everything. Based on the boxes that you check, Simple Tax will automatically populate the tabs for you to fill. So if you're not exactly sure what you're doing, this is great if you're filing your taxes for the first time, because instead of typing in, it populates all of the boxes for you. I didn't do that because I knew what I was putting in there, but if this is your first time filing, then you want to definitely go through this tab, answer the questions, so it will populate the right forms for you to fill out. Okay, so that's all the information I am putting in, and then like I said, Simple Tax optimizes your deductions and credits. So if you do a check and optimize, it suggests that due to COVID-19, if you've worked from home, you can claim the benefits, but I wasn't working from home, so that doesn't apply to me. You can also sign up for direct deposit with the CRA if you don't have that already. This is just so that your refund will be automatically credited to your accounts instead of them sending you a check in the mail. But I already do have a direct deposit, so I'm not going to do that. And also, if you have any errors that you need to fix, it's going to show on here as well, so you can go through that and see what you need to fill out on there. Okay, I'm not going to address any of these errors because I know that the information I put in is not the most accurate. My for example, the social insurance number is not right, so there's an error in there for that as well. So I'm not going to worry about that, but definitely if you're filing, you need to go through all of this to make sure that you're fixing all the errors before you submit. So after optimizing my taxes, Simple Tax is suggesting to me that I carry forward this RRSP contribution amount to the next tax year to optimize my returns, because I'm guessing for this year it's not doing anything for my returns, so I can carry that forward onto the next year when I'll be in higher income tax brackets, and that contribution would do a lot more for me in reducing my taxes. So now that you've put all of that in, it will tell you what your refund is that you're expecting and how much GST you'll be getting from the CRA quarterly. Now, this varies depending on your income tax bracket, what your annual income is. That would determine how much you're getting back as GST grants from CRA. Okay, so here you can look through everything that you've put in to ensure that everything is accurate, and then you can go ahead and submit that. So if you have any error, it's not going to let you submit it. So once you've gone and reviewed all the errors, there will be a nice submit button here for you to click on, and that submits your returns for you. So for this video, I'm not going to be submitting because there are some things I can go ahead with. So that's that about that. I'm going to link in the description box the link to the Wealth Simple Tax website that would take you directly to their platform, and then you can start to file your taxes on there. Now we've reached the end of the video. If you found this video beneficial, please like, share to your friends and family members, colleagues, workmates, schoolmates who might find it beneficial to themselves as well. Also, do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification button so that next time I post a video, you'll be the first to know. Okay, thank you and have a good week. Bye.